E-learning is making a huge impact on the training market. Latest research shows that it will exceed $375 billion in 5 years, and more companies are switching their L&D budget to this format. Why? What is it? How does it work? Historically, e-learning stands for electronic-based learning and encompasses use of different technologies like radio, TV, and finally computers to facilitate learning. As the internet grew in popularity, it has started to be associated with online education, but there are still many formats that are not online and are part of e-learning portfolio. The first e-learning training began to appear at the end of the 1970s, but only at the beginning of the 21st century they began to gain the market and the first standards used until today appeared. During these 20 years, we have experienced a real revolution. Today, people participate in simulations using virtual reality, conversate with chatbots, and intelligent algorithms design their career paths. One thing has not changed. E-learning is not only technologies and tools. The second part of the name, learning, is still the most important. In order to create effective e-learning, you should make friends with methodology of distance learning because the form has its own requirements that are very different to traditional ones. In the past, e-learning was often implemented with pure savings in mind. It was profitable for companies to digitize some of their classroom to save money and time of employees. Compliance and health and safety training were the first in the queue to be digitized, as in many cases they are obligatory and cover all the employees. Today, the reasons for implementing e-learning are completely different. First of all, the development of technology and the popularization of mobile devices have made knowledge available anytime and anywhere. The web has become our natural environment. Training can take place anywhere and be freely scalable. In addition, e-learning allows you to ensure a constant quality of the transferred knowledge, which, thanks to the development of artificial intelligence algorithms, can be personalized to the participants. And let's not forget that online learning reduces the needs for travel and therefore has a positive impact on our environment. However, all this would not be enough if e-learning was not effective. Two myths have been strong for many years. First, it's not as effective as classroom training. And second, you cannot train people on certain topics online. The first myth has been overturned by a huge amount of research done in both academia and business. I recommend that you browse the websites run by Patty Shank or Will Thalheimer, where you will find summaries of this research that say e-learning, if properly implemented, is more effective than traditional classroom training. However, by implementing the blended learning approach, combining various educational forms, both digital and traditional, we can achieve definitely the best results. The second myth is often concerned the so-called soft skills. The main argument was that there are trainings where contact with another person is necessary because emotions and body language play an important role. However, it turns out that by using new forms such as virtual reality, we can simulate real meetings and real emotions that really trick our brain. Let's now switch to e-learning market for a while. E-learning can generally be divided into two large categories: synchronous and asynchronous training. The first group indicates all formats that enable live contact with the teacher or other training participants. The most popular examples right now are the webinars, where the trainer explains a topic, discusses it with the students, and answers their questions. Other examples are group chats, multiplayer games, and simulations or social groups. The asynchronous group includes formats that most of us associate with traditional, such as on-screen e-learning courses, videos, podcasts, screencasts, or educational apps where everyone completes the material at his own pace. Let's dig deeper. What technologies stay behind e-learning? E-learning has an incredible, extensive portfolio of systems and tools. You should really start with modernworkplacelearning.com page run by Jane Hart. Jane conducts an annual survey to identify the most popular tools used in e-learning and then divides them into four main categories. Formal education, where we deal with formats supporting the organized classes in companies or universities. Informal education, which describes education outside of the structured and organized curriculum. social teaching using communication services, social networks, tools for collaboration and teamwork, and tools supporting studies, such as blogs, notebooks, file sharing, or communication services. Combined, these four categories form one coherent training ecosystem. It is important to think about implementing e-learning in such a holistic, synchronized way. Otherwise, we'll end up with a long list of incompatible tools and systems, duplicating their functionalities that will negatively affect learners' user experience. Now, let's move on to the details and discuss the most popular categories of e-learning tools. First comes the king, LMS. The vast majority of implementation begins with the online platforms, where online classes will be run and education materials will be shared with the learners. These are learning management systems, called also e-learning platforms, that strongly expand their functionalities beyond the standard support for e-learning courses in the most popular SCORM format. In addition, they offer the possibility of managing classroom training, add social interactions, gamification, personalization, and analytical mechanism. Modern platforms enable learning with the use of mobile devices, creating development paths and adapting materials to the profile of each user. Second big category are the authoring tools that support production of education materials that can be shared online. At the moment, most of them are available in the cloud and allow the creation of responsive e-learning courses, interactive videos, branch scenarios, animations, quizzes, or presentations. Most of these services enable the publication of materials in the HTML or SCORM formats, so they can be easily uploaded to any LMS on the market to monitor usage and completions. Third growing category are social tools supporting communication and collaboration. We can distinguish here synchronous and asynchronous services. The fastest growing group are the web conferencing and web collaboration tools. These services allow video communication, brainstorming, working on a project with different types of documents, knowledge checking, feedback collection, and even competitions using gamification elements. Next category I would like to mention are content marketplaces. As I mentioned before, many people have decided to take development into their own hands. For this reason, they often use MOOCs, massive online open courses, which are online courses created in cooperation with leading universities and companies in the world. They are much longer than traditional e-learning courses and can last up to several months. During this time, students have to watch various videos, read publications, participate in discussions, solve quizzes and tasks, and even create advanced prototypes assessed later by subject matter experts. The larger services, such as Coursera or edX, offer several hundred courses divided with dozens of categories, as well as the possibility of obtaining formal degree at partner universities. Last but not least comes the totally new category of e-learning system, LXP. It stands for Learning Experience Platform and appeared a few years ago as an alternative to traditional LMS platforms. They are characterized by four features: rich catalog of formal and informal materials updated on an ongoing basis by the vendors, a very high user experience with a clear interface, advanced algorithms personalize the learning path of each user, and very extensive analytical mechanisms that allow you to monitor not only training progress, but also user behavior and needs. The categories I have mentioned here are only the part of an extremely rich e-learning ecosystem. Along with technological progress, it is expanded with new branches such as virtual reality. They are gaining popularity very quickly, covering more and more areas. It is estimated that by 2026 the value of the VR market will exceed $13 billion. In order to keep up with these changes, it is worth watching industry websites and follow experts who share news, interesting publications, and research results on their blogs and profiles in social media. I hope this video has made you understand the basics of the e-learning world and encourage you to explore it. Check out the other videos. See you online.